Today I am very happy to interview Carla Trujillo, a professional in the field of communication. She will share her experience, talk about her career, and give some advice for students who are interested in this profession. Así que thank you for joining, Carla.
Thank
Eh,
you for the invitation.
Bueno, let's start with the first question. What inspired you to study communications?
I remember it was back in 2020 during the pandemic, and I was studying hotel management at USIL, and I realized that that career choice wasn't for me. And then 2021 happened. I remember it was during elections time, and we could see a lot of interviews in the TV, like these politics talking about being the next president. And something clicked inside me. Like I realized that I wanted to be one of the persons who were able to share this experience and being like a voice for communities and things like that. And I realized that I had a passion for also journalism. I started because I liked journalism first. Then I realized I liked different things, but it was because of journalism.
Oh, bueno, that's very interesting. Bueno, my next question, what was the biggest challenge you faced when you start your career communications?
I remember it is such a big career in aspects. Like you can do a lot being a communicator. And I wasn't really sure which path I wanted to take. As I was telling you before, I was really into journalism first, but then some passion grew inside me for marketing and advertisement especially. And since there's so many paths you can do and choose at USIL, it was really hard for me to choose which one I wanted. And but I realized that I didn't have to choose one because you can pretty much do everything you want since it's a big career. You can do some of this, do some of that, and then you're gonna be fine. Like eventually you're going to be a great communicator eventually. So that was like one of my biggest doubts when I started. Now I don't have those doubts anymore.
My next question, what do you like the most about working in the field of communications?
I like that it's really versatile. Um, you can do a lot. You can be a journalist, you can work in an agency, you can work in a business, you can pretty much do everything. Right now, I'm working as a content creator for a marketing agency, and it's really expanding my visions, my artistry, and just trying to get inspiration from other creators. I think it's really fun. And since it's a job that requires a lot of thinking and creative process and working as a team, I think is really like one of the biggest things in communications is that you can be part of a big team all the time.
My next question, what were your first internship or work experience related to communications?
Well, I had the opportunity to work at Junior Achievement Peru, which is which is an NGO actually, and I was part of the audiovisual crew. I was an editor. I would record videos and edit them for their socials. It was really fun. It was a big team of very creative people. We had like graphic designers, editors, community managers, and it was working like in an agency. And I learned a lot. I stayed there for like almost 10 months. I was learning a junior, and I'm so grateful of that opportunity because eventually, um, when I was there for like 7 months, and my coordinator trusted me. So I like eventually became the leader of the sub leader of the communications crew, and I was working side by side with my coordinator. I was kind of like shadowing her because she's like amazing. she's so pro at what she does. She's so smart, and I think she was one of the greatest models I had when I was starting my career in communications.
What was your role during your first internship or job experience?
Well, I was, as I mentioned before, part of the audiovisual crew, but I was an editor. I was working with two more people, and we were assigned to record the videos and then edit them.
Or maybe other role with your experience
Mm,
experiment.
when I was like really young, I created a lot of fan pages online about things that I really like. So basically, without knowing, I had some experience in community management and creating audiences and engaging with people online. And I didn't realize it then, but it was like a clear sign of what I wanted to do. Just having this passion and sharing it with everyone, just like creating community. And I think that's basically what communications is.
I appreciate your answer. My next questions, did you participate in workshop exchange programs or extracurricular activities during university? How did they help you professionally?
I did the Disney College program 3 times. I got to work and moved to Florida for 3 months. Um, it was a great experience. My latest role was actually pretty involved with communications. I had to talk to the guests and be kind of like the link between the characters and the guests we had at Disney because I was a character attendant. I had to interpret and engage with the guests and keep a storyline, which is really important. With them, everything in English, which I think is also like a very important skills for communicators, is being able to speak another language and just being in these environments where you are put in a spot where you have to stand up for yourself and speak and show yourself and represent your country. I think it was like a really important for me also to be more open minded. We were exposed to different people, different cultures, and you learned a lot from them and what they believe, what they think is right, and you learn to be more tolerant, open minded, and respectful towards other people, which is also important for communicators. Empathy and everything like that.
Yeah. What skills do you think are essential for success in the communication field?
That's a good question. Um, I think empathy, creative skills, writing skills, speaking skills. You pretty much need to need to be everything in this world. Like I think that the most important one, I think you need to have an opinion. Like you need to know what you stand up for yourself so you can get all of these ideas and know what you really believe here and then try to mix it and share it. Because if you don't really stand up for anything, then you're not gonna have an opinion. You're not gonna be like a journalist, or a good business partner. You need to know who you are as a communicator.
What is your current job position and what are your main responsibilities now?
Right now I'm working at a marketing digital agency called Brandastico. I am their content creator, and we work with very different clients. We have one client that sells matcha. We have another one that it's a vet. We have another one that it's an touristic agency. Then we have one that sells tables. It's very wide, and I need to create content for them. So I need to plan every month what we're gonna do and plan like a monthly schedule and everything, like when this is gonna get posted. Is this gonna be a video or just a feed post or a reel, or is it gonna go on TikTok? Which time is it gonna be the best for this client? I need to plan all of that, then think and check socials, check the news, what is gonna happen, what are people talking about. So and take this knowledge and, for example, I'm working with this swimming academy. So I have this swimming academy, and then the FIFA World Cup is happening. So, what can I create that I can mix these two together to create content for them? And it's just a lot of thinking and creative process. And then when I have that, then I have to show it to the client. So, once the client gives it a thumbs up, then we can go and schedule a time for us to go and record the content that we're gonna publish the next month. So, it's a lot of coordination. Then when we're recording, I need to direct sometimes. Sometimes we're working with a freelancer that is in charge of the recording process, but I'm always there, like supervising and everything, and sometimes giving ideas. Because sometimes you have ideas at the moment that may work or may not work. You will find out eventually. So I'm supervising that content, and then I'm making sure that content is also getting published when well at the time that I wrote it at the schedule. It's a fun job. I know it sounds like a lot. It is a lot, but it's fun. It's yeah, that's it.
Okay, well, my next question, what advice would you give to students who are just starting the communication program?
I would say mm, don't be scared to make mistakes, and don't be afraid to try new things, because you're gonna fail once, you're gonna fail twice. I remember when I was recording something really important, like an interview, and I forgot to turn the mic on, and we didn't record any audio. I was like, oh my God, no, I am the worst thing ever. How could this happen? And then I talked with someone else, and she was like, it's okay. People make mistakes, and I know that you made these mistakes once, it's not gonna happen twice. And it's true. So I would say to the people, don't be afraid to make mistakes and try new things. You will eventually find your path. Once you try everything there is in the communications field, you will find one thing you really like. So I would say go for that one thing and specialize and know everything about this one path. Because in the future, people, well, companies are really looking for people who know a lot about one thing. They are not really looking for people who can do everything. They're looking for people who are really like pro and know a lot about one thing. So if you find it, work it, learn everything you can, work in the field, and be sure of what you know. I would say that.
Well, thank you for your answer. And finally, questions. What are the biggest challenge communication professional face today?
I would say people still think this is not really a career. They think it's just something that you study so you can become an influencer, which is okay, it's a career path, of course, but it's not really everything that communication has to offer is to be an influencer. It's not. The world rolls around people talking, rolls around the news and what is happening on the TV or what is happening on social media. We have a lot of information online, so we need to fact check everything. What else is happening in the communications world? We have a lot of fake news, terribly fake news. Um, but I think we have a lot of content too. So I think it's a very like concentrated world that you need to know you need to do something very good to stand out so people can get to know the business you're working for or who you are if you're working as an influencer. Since there's so much things happening at the same time, you need to find what you're gonna do. Like, what are you gonna do different than all of these 100 communicators are doing? So I would say that's the hardest part is that there's a lot of people working in the field nowadays. So we probably need to work harder and just to stand out from the rest. And it's really hard, to be honest. It's not like engineering or like an architect. We have a lot of communicators. We need to be sure of what we're doing to stand out and try to be different. I would say that is the biggest challenge.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.